And welcome, everybody. This is Las Vegas Speaks. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm your host for today. Las Vegas Speaks is all about the movers and the shakers in Las Vegas. And today we've got some specials for you folks. Today we've got Ronnie Thomas, who is the coach and the owner of the Las Vegas Empress, which is very cool. I'm excited about that. Troy Sakaguchi, who is the owner of HI Coffee, which is High Coffee Roasters in Las Vegas. And we also have Gilda Graham, and Gilda Graham is an Emmy nominated producer. And you're gonna love this show, folks. So on the line, and we were so lucky that we've got him out. We've got the coach and the owner of the Las Vegas Empress. We have Ronnie Thomas. Ronnie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Sherman?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much. You are a man about town. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be on the show today.
Oh man, it's definitely an honor and a privilege to be on the show. I appreciate you for having me.
Okay. Well, so people are asking, who is Ronnie Thomas and why are we having him on the show? And more importantly, who are the Las Vegas Empress or the Las Vegas Empresses? So I don't think people know we actually have is it a semi-pro women's basketball team in addition to the WNBA Las Vegas Aces, and that is the Las Vegas Empresses, right?
Yeah. So yes, sir. So the league we're a part of is called the Women's Basketball Association (LLC). We try to stem away from the word semi-pro and just let them know that it's a pro organization. But because we're
Mhm.
not the Aces and we don't pay like the Aces yet,
Mhm.
uh, um, people tend to use the word semi-pro, so we just go along with it. But our league is definitely trying to be as professional as possible to take the semi out because it's a lot of good things that we have going on outside just the league. So we'll eventually get to the point to where we're paying people top tier dollar to be a part, but it's a starter thing. So
That's
yeah,
that. Now that is awesome, though. But so the Las Vegas Empress is a pro basketball team, a women's pro basketball team here in Las Vegas. But I think the thing that you guys have a claim to fame, though, and what we're going to talk about today, is you guys actually just won a championship.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it's very special because it's the it's the first year of the league, the first basically women's pro team in Vegas. So it's just kind of special. First known women's team in Vegas. So it's pretty special. And I'm not the only owner and I'm not the only coach. So I have a friend who's been by my side for the last like 4 years. His name is James McKinney. He owns and coaches with me. So we're
Mhm.
the youngest coaches and owners in the league. So it was very special. It was very monumental.
Give us a little bit of background on you and what brought you to this point.
Um, I started with the Pharaohs 2 years ago, and then I was like, man, I would love this would be dope for me to own a women's team, you know. And so I was trying to go overseas before I did everything, but just things fell into place to where in February um, things just like kind of just dropped in our laps. So yeah, so
So
me
you,
playing and seeing the opportunities to play in front of my family and friends again, it had been over 10 years since I played in front of them. So it was just that opportunity has. I thought like, what would it be like if? Because I have some homegirls that can hoop, that play really good. So I was trying to get them on, but things happened, and now we're here.
wasn't that awesome? Well, congratulations to you. So now the Las Vegas Empress female basketball team. What has been one of the biggest surprises that you've seen coaching this year? Has there been a lack of talent? Has there been a lot of talent here in Vegas? Describe that for us.
The biggest surprise was two things. Number one, the support from the city, like
Mm-hmm.
the support and the love that people have for women's sports, not just in basketball, women's sports in Las Vegas is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two, I knew it was talent, but it was definitely more talent than I thought it was. Like I love my city. I'm born and raised here, so I always root for my city. But
So you are going to be going into the 2021-2022 season, the defending champions for now. So, what would be the title of your championship?
Oh, it's called the Women's Basketball Association Championship. It was the inaugural championship, so I guess you can call it the inaugural championship.
And you are going to go into the next season now as the defending champions. So you've got a big bullseye on your chest now. Everybody's going to be gunning for you. How does that make you feel?
It's what I like to call good pressure. Like
Good pressure.
it's called good pressure. So going into the next season, it's probably going to be a rebuilding because we do plan on having some girls playing overseas, over the waters, and but I'm confident enough that we'll be reigning champions instead of just defending champions.
That's it. Defending, reigning champions, going for a repeat. That's awesome.
Yes,
Ronnie
sir.
Thomas, thank you so much for being on the show today. If people want to get tickets for your next game, because I know you're looking probably to already begin to fill your roster, you're looking for some more sponsors, all that kind of stuff. How are people going to get a hold of you?
People can contact me personally, or they can follow us on Instagram at Las Vegas _ Empress. That's where we do most of our marketing and more so of the contact. But if anybody has any questions, they can follow me as well on Instagram or on Facebook. Ronnie Thomas is Facebook, and Thomas BOY 2010 on Instagram. And then we can go up from there.
Oh, so fantastic. Ronnie Thomas, the coach, part owner in the Las Vegas Empresses, the champions of the Women's Basketball Association for 2021. We are so excited to have you here. Brother, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. We will see you soon. There's more to come, so don't go away. We'll be back with more of Las Vegas Speaks. Don't let impaired credit prevent you from achieving your goal of home ownership. Genrise, the leader in credit education, provides an online credit masterclass. The class demystifies the complex areas of credit by providing a comprehensive view of consumer credit, credit bureaus, and credit scores. Genrise provides simple tools to help improve your credit scores. To sign up for the online credit class, go to www.genrise.com. Welcome back as we continue with Las Vegas Speaks. I'm here at High Coffee with the owner of High Coffee. This is Troy. Troy, now before I destroy your last name, tell everybody what your last name is.
It's Sakaguchi, Sakaguchi.
Sakaguchi. Sakaguchi.
Yes.
Sorry about that. So Troy, we're at High Coffee right here, and this is you've been here for quite a long time. You're out in Henderson, officially Henderson, right?
Yes.
My question to you is, what got you interested in being a part of the coffee trade?
Technically, we tried to get into the sushi restaurant business at first, and that didn't fall through. So we decided.
I'm going to put my mask on here, folks. Go ahead.
We decided, hey, let's since I had some experience in Hawaii doing coffee, I was like, let's open up a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And the first question was, how would we make it different from any other coffee shop?
Yeah.
Like, we'll bring in 100% Kona coffee from Big Island.
So Kona coffee. So Kona coffee, 100% Kona coffee. What makes Kona coffee different than any other, like Colombian or Brazilian?
It's just how it's made and how they grow it. It can only be grown on the Big Island in a different area, and nobody brings it in except us. People are bringing it at 10% blend. We bring it at 100% Kona coffee.
That's important.
It's very important.
Yeah, because like you said, a lot of people bring in stuff that's 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than that.
Maybe less than that.
Maybe even less than that. But you're 100% coffee. I mean, are you well received from the Hawaiian community?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what kind of? I mean, tell me. Now, Las Vegas has been called the ninth island.
Yes.
And so, is that kind of you're playing on that a little bit, or?
Not really. I mean, we just wanted to do something different as a coffee shop, and we hooked up with a awesome farmer in the Big Island. They're called Big Island Coffee Roasters. We call them every Monday. We get our coffee here by Wednesday. They roast every Monday. So the question we got was, how long does it sit in the bag? And we get it from the store.
Sure.
No, we order it. They roast it. They bag it, they send it to us, and we're done. You know, we go through 10, 15 pounds of coffee every week. So
Sure.
that's awesome.
And that's funny. And this is like coffee grinder. Is that what that is?
Coffee grinder, yes.
Yeah. So Arancilio, and it's full of is that your Kona coffee, or is that an espresso
No, it's
blend?
actually an espresso blend.
Okay.
That was created by an awesome friend.
Yeah. I know. Well, for those of you, truth be known, I've known Troy for many years now. We used to be his coffee roaster, and we used to supply Troy with his coffee, but not anymore since we moved on. So he's doing another one, which is great.
Yeah.
So let me tell me, Troy. You and Tammy, Tammy's your girlfriend.
Yes.
You're owners in this endeavor.
Yeah.
And so, how have you been received by the coffee community? Because we all have these ideas that we're going to come into coffee, we're going to do some great stuff.
Right.
But how have you been received by the coffee community? I mean, because Starbucks came in, blast and everything else, and everybody knew that Starbucks is there. How about high coffee? How has it been received by the coffee community?
We're just different. We wanted a challenge.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's Starbucks right up the road.
Okay. Yeah.
There's Starbucks right down the road.
Mhm.
So we're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We love challenges.
Yeah.
We don't do a lot of marketing. People find us, and you know, our coffee's just different.
Yeah.
Like I said, we create our own lattes.
Mm-hmm.
We have an awesome espresso blend, and we bring it 100% Kona along with. We try to, since we're at the Nine Island, we try to do a lot of Hawaii pastries. And that's as far as a lot of Hawaii food. You know, Portuguese sausage, spam.
Yeah, spam, always good,
so,
sure.
You know, we have like our pastries are like guava, where you can get from Hawaii, pineapple, coconut. So we try to bring the Hawaii people, but believe it or not, Hawaii people are not our main customers.
Really?
Yeah.
So who are your main customers?
Out of town people.
Out of town?
Yeah.
Wow, you're all the way out here.
We have a lot of customers that are traveling in and out of Arizona and just finds us and stops in here. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, we do have a big, Hawaii community that does come in here. We do have our regulars, but every day we have at least 5 new customers.
And they're generally out of town.
They're out of towners, or they just moved here. They even lived across the street for 3 years and just found us, like, say, today.
Yeah, so isn't that amazing? Cool.
Yeah, so we're very blessed.
Well, that's awesome. So what is your specialty? What's one of your main specialties? We want you to make one of your specialties for us today. We want to see.
Our Kona coffee pour over. Our Kona coffee is not, we don't make it in a coffee maker. When people order it, we grind it and we do it as a pour over. It's the freshest coffee you can get.
Fantastic. Well, okay, we're gonna have a Kona coffee pour over. Let's check that out. Okay.
That sounds good.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, Troy, this is awesome coffee. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
And Troy, now if people want to come down to High Coffee, where are you located at?
We are on 90 South Stephanie Street. Our cross street is Stephanie and Paseo Verde. So at 90 South Stephanie Street, 2150 in Henderson.
Fantastic. Guys, come on out to High Coffee. Check out Troy. Check out all the cool stuff. Check out Kona Coffee. The pour over is fantastic.
Yes, for sure.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There's more to come, so don't go away. We'll be back with more of Las Vegas Speaks. Don't let impaired credit prevent you from achieving your goal of home ownership. Genrise, the leader in credit education, provides an online credit masterclass. The class demystifies the complex areas of credit by providing a comprehensive view of consumer credit, credit bureaus, and credit scores. Genrise provides simple tools to help improve your credit scores. To sign up for the online credit class, go to www.genrise.com. Welcome back as we continue with Las Vegas Speaks. On this segment right now, we're going to be talking to Gilda Graham. I'm so excited about this segment because Gilda Graham is just a beloved friend of mine. She's an Emmy-nominated producer, an accomplished author, holistic entertainment coach, and we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. I'm very excited about it. I want to bring onto the stage Gilda Graham. Gilda, how are you doing today?
Hi, Sherman. How are
I'm
you?
doing awesome. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Yes, I loved talking to you the other day.
I know. I met Gilda probably, 5, 6 years ago. It's probably been that long ago. And Gilda at the time was coming. You came in from, well, I'm going to let you tell your story. How did you get to Las Vegas? Because that's when I first met you, when you were in Vegas and you were kind of feeling out what Vegas was all like. So tell everybody where you came from, how you got to Las Vegas.
Oh, well, I was born and raised actually in Hollywood, California. I spent the first about 10 years there, and then my family moved up to Westlake Village, which is in the Ventura County, Conejo Valley area. And I then decided to go into film production probably around the time that I was 20. So I went to Cal State University of Northridge and met amazing mentors there, and I started doing film production from being in front of the camera to being behind the camera. And what led me actually to Las Vegas is you came after 6 years of being in the independent field in LA. Everything was like hustle and bustle. There wasn't anybody telling you to not stress, and there was a lot of burnout there. So I realized that I needed to take time for myself for a second. So I moved to Las Vegas to actually do that and to kind of see if I can have a healthier lifestyle, just living in Las Vegas, but still being connected to the film scene. And when I got here, I started working immediately for PBS, which is how I ended up getting Emmy nominated here on a show that I know that you love called Outdoor Nevada.
So tell everybody about that show, though, because that's pretty cool. I love Outdoor Nevada. I watch it every Sunday.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I still do. I still watch it. And I look for those shows that still have your name on it. Still have your name on the credits. So it's kind of our connection still there. So
yeah.
So you worked for Outdoor Nevada. We'll come back to that. But so you worked for Outdoor Nevada and so continue.
Yeah, no, I worked. It was the first season of Outdoor Nevada, and I had an amazing, amazing experience with just the show. And it's still part of my heart today. But everything is on contract. So once my contract ended, you don't know if you're going to be rehired again. And then the rehiring process was like 2 months later. Well, MGM ended up picking me up. So I ended up at MGM, and I didn't recontract myself back at Outdoor Nevada over at Vegas PBS. So that was a little bittersweet, but I then started working for MGM and started doing corporate videos and entertainment and producing over there. So I stayed there for about 3 years. But yeah, Outdoor Nevada was amazing. I mean, you get to go out. Well, I didn't go out on location. I was still in the office, but it was a great department, and we all worked together to bring this show to life. As a lot of productions, how do I want to say this? A lot of productions, there's a lot of stuff that happens. So the challenges were to kind of take what you're given when you're hired and actually make a show around what you're given. So that's that was the challenging part about it, but I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I bet you did. So very cool. So you got to travel around Vegas, or got to at least find out a little bit more about Vegas.
Yeah, I was in the editing.
Nevada.
Yeah, and honestly, I look back and I think, what a blessing that was to have just arrived in a brand new state and a brand new amazing city, and then be put on a show that showcased the whole state. And you're like, well, I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go travel there. So it was really fun. And I think that's when I started kind of falling in love with Nevada and seeing it as not just another place to like my next destination,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when the seed was planted in the sense of, I think this might be home.
This might be a home. I know. And along the way, you actually met a lot of people along the way because weren't you a part of the Women's Film Festival at one point?
Yeah, so I do a lot of nonprofit work in this town that I'm really proud of. A lot of the nonprofit work, either I was helping with events or I was the grant writer, but it's for film festivals in town. So I was part of the Women's Film Festival, and then I moved over to the Damn Short Film Festival. And I'm sure that there are going to be other film festivals in the future that I am going to be a part of. That's part of my heart I can't say the word,
Yeah.
but that's part of my humanitarian, heart that I have, is to kind of give back to the community and do everything that I can. Film isn't the only thing. Like, I love children, I love animals. So I was working with a children's nonprofit as well. In fact, I'm part of the Discovery Museum's gala. This is my second year on.
You are just so, and really kind of takes us to where you're at now too, because one of the questions a lot of people want to ask, since you've been a part of Hollywood for so long, you've been a part of the whole film industry, that kind of thing. As a woman in the film industry, what has it? What's your experience been like? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Has it been, has it been difficult because you are a woman, or is that something that's played into it, do you think?
The only thing, well, that's a really big question, and that's a lot. Do you have 6 hours? But my whole experience, and I hate comparing myself to people, because you learn in this new holistic way of living that you are your own person and you shouldn't compare. But if I did compare my whole experience, I can't really complain about it. A lot of the burnout and a lot of the experience for me just came from me not knowing how to manage myself and my doing self-care work. You did come up with a lot of, for example, when I worked at Fortune 500 companies, the pay could have been better, and somebody else was being paid better, and when you ask, they don't give you. And so there's a lot of old school stuff that happens in corporations. So I have to say it's been a struggle with the money that you deserve and the money that you're actually given.
So having a mentor has meant a lot, though. I would assume in every business, having a mentor has been it means so much for every person who's in it. And now you are on the other side. You're giving back now. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, because I think anybody watching this who just falls in love with you the way I have says, you know what? Is she mentoring? What is she doing? So tell us a little bit about that, your mentoring project.
So I mentor anybody from students to executives to future producers. I mean, because I've been in it for so long and I've been in front of the camera and behind the camera, I know, I have a very unique set of eyes, I guess you could say. So I still haven't done everything I've wanted to, but it doesn't mean that I haven't accomplished a whole lot. So that's what I'm doing right now, is on top of the films that I'm producing, like it's called Bipolaroid by Chris Cranock here in Las Vegas. It should be out in 2022. Other than that one, I'm dabbling in other shows and also coaching people that need help figuring out what their next step is in this industry, because there's so many different doors that you can go through, and the confusion. I remember in my 20s being confused as to what door do I take, which one is for me. And that could be really hard, because in the beginning, you're still trying to find out who you are. And a lot of people don't find out who they are until they're in their 40s or 50s. And so you're just kind of there finding your way. But it's always nice to have a guide that's there with you, experiencing it, and also just telling you where you think you should go and who you should talk to, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll tell you, that is probably the most important thing that people really miss on their journey, is they make so many mistakes, needless mistakes, right? That they need somebody like a Gilda Graham to come into their life and say, let's just sit down and let's look at it on paper, and maybe you should just kind of go to the right or to the left. Is that kind of like what you're doing, or are you doing the whole assessment, that kind of thing with them too?
I actually do the assessment in the beginning because I need to know who you are and what you want. I don't want to direct you into a path that you ultimately in 10 years don't want to be there. So I have to know, and we discuss it together, and if you don't know what you want in 10 years, that's okay. But a lot of people that in this particular industry have a vision of what they want their life to be like in 10 years. It's a very visual industry with a lot of dreams. So I do an assessment in the beginning, and then we go ahead and we start creating your life and where you should go and what you should do. Now, I always leave it to them. I'm here as a reminder, I'm a guide. I'm not supposed to tell you what to do in life. Yeah. I'm supposed to be there to support you, but also let you know the pros and cons of what you've chosen, and it might or might not work. But I'm also there if you need a stress relief, because I do Reiki as well. So you'll get a lot of balance out of what I also implement. It's not just go, 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 go. It's take time for you too. Are you remembering to do what you need to do?
That's important. I'll tell you, are you remembering to eat every once in a while? True. Or Gilda, I'll tell you, I think there are going to be people who want to get a hold of you. How do people get a hold of you?
I do have a contact form on my website. So you go to www.gildagraham.com and you go under work with me, or you can fill it out right there. But I do get everything. So I hope you get in touch with me, and I can't wait to hear from you.
Well, fantastic. Gilda, thank you so much for being on the show today. Folks, if you'd like to get a hold of Gilda, www.gildagraham.com, and check her out. You will not be sorry. You really won't. Gilda, thank you so much for being on the show. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.